Here now to discuss the coronavirus in more detail. So much to get into. CBS News medical contributor, Dr. David Agus. I'm going to start with the question I think a lot of people at home are wondering. How does this spread, meaning how might I get this? Because we're hearing about community spread now, not just direct contact.
So the problem with this virus and why we're getting all excited, everyone says, why are you so worried about this? It's not killing anybody near the flu, is that for 2 weeks you have the virus, you can spread it and you're asymptomatic. So the problem is you go to a movie theater not knowing you have the virus, you cough once, you can infect the movie theater. And so that's what we're afraid of, is the rise in cases going up dramatically. There are a few number of kits in the United States doing testing. So we're seeing these 4 cases that had no known contact with high-risk individuals, but we're testing almost nobody. So the number of cases is much, much higher. We just haven't tested them.
Is that changing, the testing? Are we going to see more tests?
We certainly hope so. I mean, the CDC is going to release more tests early next week. They announced yesterday they're going to allow hospitals to develop their own tests because we are sorely lacking on the testing front in the United States right now.
In most places around the world, it's getting worse, but in China now it's actually getting a little bit better?
Well, China put in a quarantine that is awesome, right? You cannot leave your house, you cannot go to school, you cannot go to work, you cannot go to church. Quarantines work. We are going to have quarantines in the United States of America in the next week or 2. It's not if, but it's when and where. It will happen. It will be a new way of life. There's no panic. We're all going to be safe, but this is how we're going to control the virus from an exponential spread.
You call this the new normal?
This is the new normal, and we're going to have a different way. I mean, you know, we're no longer going to go like this anymore. We're going to go like this. We're not going to be shaking hands. We're not going to be congregating in large groups for several months. Starting Monday, the schools in Japan, the entire country, are closed for a month. That is the new normal, is online education for kids. And so we have to look at it differently. You know, the delivery man, pretty soon that's going to be a drone, so nobody touches your packages, and we're not going to have transmission of disease.
So I'm curious, you know, in the real world out there, folks have all sorts of scenarios going on in their head. Friends are coming to visit from Italy and other countries. Are we going to see a clampdown on who might be able to enter this country?
So there's a new policy. Nobody from Italy is allowed. No. Yeah, we're going to start to see policies like that, is that they're going to be high-risk regions. And it's not just from other countries. It's here. If San Francisco is on quarantine, we don't want people from San Francisco to travel to Los Angeles. And we're going to have a new normal, you know, to do that.
So are there ways that we can prevent just the spread outside of the quarantine? I mean, people are going to have to go out and sort of like grab a bunch of groceries, throw them into the basement, and live, you know, off of, you know.
Well, I mean, let's take a step back. So about a third of coronavirus, colds are coronaviruses. It's a common virus. In fact, that picture, that graphic right here is amazing because in the 1960s, when they first identified coronavirus, they saw those projections and they said it looked like a crown. That's why it's called corona. And so this is a new strain of it that is spread dramatically, but it causes lung inflammation. Most people get over fine. 80% of people have mild symptoms. But the elderly, people who are tobacco smokers, have a much more aggressive course, and that's what we're worried about.
Just to remind people, though, if you're traveling, if you're out and about, to Michelle's point, you mentioned this with use your elbow. What can people do to try to prevent any bacteria, any germ spread, including
Purell, right, or the equivalent alcohol wipes? They work. The mask, you know, we use the mask backwards. Masks are, if you're going to cough, you cough into your mask so particles don't go in the air. It's not to protect you from viruses, which are small, which can go through the mask.
Right.
If you are sick, your child has a runny nose, you've got to stay home.
Even if you don't know if it's corona or whatever it is.
You stay home now. This is, we all have to protect not just ourselves, but our community. I want to change. I mean, I really think this is going to make community focus first. A new way of thinking.
Very, very quickly, Doctor, in 15 seconds. If a lot of people are thinking about canceling vacation plans, whether it's a European vacation, a cruise, should they do it?
I feel like I'm in a debate, 15 seconds. It depends where it is. And so all of us just need to be aware. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. The next month or 2 is critical. So everyone is saying, should I travel? Do not travel to a high-risk area. Other areas, it is fine to travel to now. I am flying home on United to Los Angeles today, and I am not worried.
Great. Doctor, thank you very much.
Thank you.